In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can create an application-specific user experience as well as styling for your flows based on Descope SSO applications. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can control styling and flow experience on a per application basis using Descope as a federated identity provider of each of the apps. So I have two separate apps here. I have a identity broker demo app, which is built in NextAuth. And then I also have a Freshworks application. This Freshworks application is configured to use Descope as a SAML provider, whereas the NextAuth one is using Descope as an OIDC provider. So if I click on sign in, you can see it takes me to my normal looking auth hosting flow. As you can see, it's also on my custom domain, and this would be your custom domain once you configure a CNAME. But if I click on Google, I'll just show the sign-in process real quick. Signing in with my passkey, and I'm in. And as you can see, I'm logged in with this current session, and I have full access to everything. Now, if I do the same thing on Freshworks and click on sign in, it should automatically actually sign me in because the session was already created. This is the traditional SSO experience that you are probably accustomed to. However, what we can do with Descope is we can actually control not only the flow experience, but the styling as well per application. So if you want to utilize one singular shared session across all your apps, but have unique login experiences for each of the apps and retain that, that is something you can do with a flow. And so let me show you what that looks like. So the first step is to actually show you what the application config looks like. So this is the OIDC app, which is our NextAuth app, and this is our Freshworks SAML application. And as you can see, the flow hosting URL, which is defined here, can actually provide not only a specific flow to run based on the application, but can also provide styling as well. So I can say something like &style equals Acme and use a specific styling ID, which I've already defined here, if I want to run the same flow, which is the sign up or in flow, with a separate style. So this is the login experience that we just saw, but what we are going to do is we're going to apply the Acme styling to that application. So now, when I open an incognito again and go to the demo app, when I click on sign in, you can see the same flow exists with the same experience, however, the Acme theme applies. And of course you can sign in, just as you would normally expect to, and still log into the same exact user identity and session. Now the other thing you can do is you can not only control what flow runs for which application or what style here, but you can also control the flow experience itself in this flow editor. So I have a condition here that basically checks to see what the SSO app ID is. This is the unique identifier of the Freshworks SAML application. And if that is being run, then the Freshworks login screen, which is a unique login screen, appears. And if another application is being logged into, for example, the NextAuth application, then we will have this generic screen here. And so let me show you what that looks like from a user experience. So if I go to an incognito window again, log in with my Freshworks, you can see the flow actually changes and runs a different screen. And so by using these flow conditions, you can actually create custom experiences, not only from a screen perspective, but also you can support different auth methods. You can actually dynamically control which apps require MFA and which don't using the flow. Let me give an example of that. So for the Freshworks app, maybe we just want to have a normal OTP email or OAuth login process. But for the NextAuth app, we want the user to be able to configure a passkey. And so what we can do is we can actually use this isNewUser condition to not only collect user information, but also append an update passkey action. Now this will actually create a passkey for that user using their same email And then if it's an existing user, what we can do is instead of just ending the flow, we can force them to sign in with their existing passkey. Now, the great thing about this is we can also show a screen here to say, you need to configure passkeys. And of course, this can be styled however you want. And we can actually place this directly in between the updating user properties and the update user passkeys. So now, when I connect these two, format the flow, you can see the flow is very straightforward. If it's a next auth login process, you can sign in with both email OTP or OAuth. If it's a new user, simply collect user information and also prompt the user to configure passkeys. So let's actually look at what this process looks like and see how it's controlled at an application level. So let's remove this user. And let's log into Freshworks. So if I log into Freshworks and I use the same user account that I was using before, and this time it's a new user, you will see it should just automatically take me into the application, as you would expect. However, if I start from the next auth application and I sign in, and then I sign in with, say, Kevin+1 @descope.com, which is a new user, and type in my code, I'm actually prompted to enter my first and last name. Then I'm told I need to configure passkeys. I can configure passkeys, and I'm in. Now, the next time that I sign in, I can simply click on sign in, and then type in my email again. But this time, it actually prompts me to use my passkey, which I will do now. And I'm signed in. So as you can see, being able to control not only the styling and what actual flow runs per application, but being able to control flow actions and screens based on SSO app ID within a flow give you full control over how your user experience acts per application.